Hello and welcome to another video. This video will be explaining Overstock.com and the sales techniques that we have. All of the general research techniques are going to still stay the same. The only thing that is going to change kind of dramatically, which is why we need a different spreadsheet, is the Overstock price. Now the source price is what we get the actual unit for. So if you get it for $1,000, it's still 1.22 times that source price, and that's what we sell it for. Overstock, as you see on the right hand side here, is a little bit different. At first, I could do a 15% affiliate link coupon through email. I could buy a 5% off gift card when I purchase it. I get 5% cash back after the purchase directly into my Overstock account for the next transaction. So technically, it's $765 or 25% off. So it's $1,000 times 0.765. Now, this is the source price, the base price, the price that we're actually buying it for. So this price would be 1.22, the normal markup rate for break even on an item. That would be $933 would be our break even price. So if we sell it for $999, we have a $65 profit. Divide that by 999, roughly speaking 6.5%. Loosely speaking, the math over here is going to be working on around a 5.8% margin, just because it's including taxes and a little bit more complicated math in here. And 765, yep, okay, cool. So we did find one item from this top seller. Notice he has 10 items sold, and we only found one item. That's fine, but let me go ahead and show you how I found that item. So I sorted by sell-through rating, which is most important, and then after that, you want to make sure before you leave that person, the last time you checked that person was 7/17/2019, and how much profit did they actually yield in the end. Using the math of this spreadsheet, it's actually 4.5%. So we're good to go. Now in the future, we know this person has a potential for 4.5% profit. He's not necessarily a good or an amazing seller, so I'm going to put that back to normal. The next seller, though, if he has the same amount of items profitable per listed, that would be 10%. And 271 times 10% would be 27 items. So technically, this next guy could have 27 items. That's how quickly we can get items with this technique. And most people are going to have more than 10% profitable items. So go ahead, move on. So with this very first item here, there's a couple ways to search for it. Of course, you could search by the image. And of course, you could search by the UPC. And you could search by this. We're going to actually search by RCA, which is the brand, and that. So you can see that it's actually on Overstock.com. Boom, right there. So we could go and waste our time. $8 less on Amazon.com, but we know that we get 25% off. So technically it's not $98, it's more like $74, $73. So Overstock is definitely the better place to go here. If it was better on Amazon, let's say Overstock.com here was 125, 25% off would be 100. Amazon would be better by $10. So we would actually open up the other original spreadsheet with the regular math where your source price is 79 and your eBay price needs to be higher. So that's when you would actually use this older spreadsheet. But I want you to actually just try your best to only look for Overstock items exclusively right now. Pardon me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I had to get something to drink real quick. Alright, so we're on the Overstock spreadsheet, and we need to find more items. We saw seller 1, and we were able to find a single but a profitable item from that, which would be here. You just copy the link right here, paste it, and you're good to go. Do the same for eBay. Paste it, get the price, make sure you get the seller's name, very important. And when you're done with the seller, when you've scanned their whole store, or at least 5 items. If you've gone through 5 items and you cannot find them on Overstock, just skip it and go to the next one. But if you do find an item on Overstock and you get a percentage over here, just put that percentage over here on the side. That way in the future, when we search this master sellers list, we know for sure that this person is profitable or not. Alrighty, so moving on, I'm going to actually go find a couple more sellers and show you a few more items. So right now I'm going to open up this guy right here. This is all I'm going to do. It's nothing too crazy. End date recent first. Items are over $94. And he has... Oh, wow. I do not know how many items he has. See all. 264. He has 264 items. And I'm just going to open, 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 open. You kind of get the point. I'm just going to open up a bunch of these. And I could see that these tarps are really popular right now. So I could see that trend happening. I'm going to go ahead and actually go through all of these and search them just like I did before on Overstock. And we'll see how many I could find. Alrighty, so we do have one hit right here. We have the black version. Let me just double check this is actually what it's being sold for. So the black is 329, 313. Okay, that sounds accurate. So this guy is actually not making a profit, or he has even more tricks up his sleeve than it looks like he does. So this might be a really good seller, or he's just not really making any money. So I did actually end up finding the item here, and it was by a search of a copy paste of all of this down here. Just did a quick search. I found it on Walmart, a couple other places, and I saw Overstock. So I saw it on Overstock here. $418, if that's what we're discounting, times 0.765, it'd be $319. That would be our base price. And then 1.22, it'd be $390. That wouldn't be good enough. Now on Amazon, it's actually $339, and that's the same exact price that it is down here. So it doesn't really work. We actually would have to sell it for $413 over here on eBay. So this item, unfortunately, wouldn't be profitable. We're going to have to skip it. But I'll let you know when I find another item from the seller. So far, this was the first item in his store. We found a Overstock link. So far, so good. Wow, and again, the second item is already profitable. How good is that? So $112 over here for an awesome folding cargo bike trailer. Only 14 left. Overstock likes to say that. It doesn't mean there's actually 14 left. It just means that the supplier, by Awesome, is they always have a quantity of 14. They might actually only have 14 left, but sometimes that's a gimmick just to get people to buy. Just like on eBay, it says only one left, even though there's clearly more than one, more than 10 available. All right, so we have $112.99 here and $109 here. So I'll pop it into the spreadsheet. This is what I would expect you to do. If you do not want to do the math, it's fine. I totally understand. So this is the source price, and it's $112.99. This is the eBay price, and it's $109.99. These are the keywords. Is that the exact same? It's a little bit different. Let's see. Folding bicycle luggage. Yeah, he added luggage and a couple of other words, it looks like, so that's good. We're going to copy paste that up here. And we're going to say, yes, he does use keywords, and this is a different seller now. This is actually MH Corp. This was the second seller on the list. So far, he's 2 for 2 on items from Overstock. Now, we do have a 3.7% profit margin, so that is good. Has he ever sold it for more than $110? No, wow, he has sold a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the past few days. This guy is a good seller. There's no extra shipping or anything, but definitely still a profitable item. Kudos on that. Moving forward, let's continue with MH Corp and see if we can find some more items. So I did not find an item yet, besides that first one. I did actually happen to see, well, the first two items. I did happen to see that a lot of his items are actually this brand AOSOM, awesome. So maybe there's a chance AOSOM coupon code. Maybe they're using like a 20, 30, some crazy percentage off coupon code. Same thing as Overstock, and getting their price point down to the same price as awesome.com. So that's a possibility that I'll look for in the future. For now, I'm going to keep on scrolling, but I just wanted to give you an update that when you see things like that, you want to make sure that you go back over here and in the notes, you could simply you could say AOSOM and Overstock. That way you look at it in the future and you say, oh, that's Overstock color, but what's that about? And then I will investigate and I'll do a deeper dive into that. So far we have 3.7% profit with the Overstock margins on this gentleman here, so we're going to keep searching him. Alright, I feel like it did take a while to finally find another one, but it was this rabbit cage. As soon as we did a quick search on the UPC code here, we look on the right hand side and we see Overstock.com, which leads us simply to Overstock.com. We have a price of $129, which is over the actual Overstock price, which is great. So $129.99. And on Overstock, it's actually $124.99. We're going to click on this link to make sure we're actually inside the listing here. And we got a 9% profit margin item. Does he use different keywords? Oh, yes, he definitely does use different keywords. Excellent. So the point is just keep going, and eventually you'll keep finding more items. Even if it's from the same seller, just remember they do use different sources. So if you get lost for 5 or 10 items, like I just did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, all these tents and teepees were being sold on awesome.com and a couple of these other storage devices. So it was a little frustrating, but I'm sure once I get down here, I'm going to start to get more Overstock.com items. So we have this one, 129. What did he actually sell it for? He actually sold it for 129. So we're about to take a lot of his sales right here. This is why I want to do Overstock right here. So 16th, 13th, 9th. So in the past 2 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sales in the past 2 weeks. Each item is $11, $11.74 times 6 in the past 2 weeks is 70. If you make that many sales in a month times 2, $140 a month from this one item, almost guaranteed. We just have to beat his price. That's all we have to do. Maybe update this keyword, but honestly, we just have to update the price, and that's all we have to do. So this is really why we're searching for Overstock.com sellers. It is very, very lucrative just because we can compete with Overstock and these sellers at the same time. So let's go ahead and find one more item and see if we can have any more useful information. Alrighty, so upon searching the UPC for this next folding wheelchair ramp, so the ramp is actually what's being sold, not the wheelchair. Once you search that, you can see that it's actually cheaper on Wayfair.com here, $149. It's being sold for the same price. But if we buy at this price, $155, as an example, 1.22 would get us at $189. Now, I think I saw somewhere on the internet there was a 30% off coupon. This would be for a different video because this is an Overstock video. But just as an example, 155, if it is 30% off, would be 0.7 times 1.22 would be $132. If he's selling it for $149, he'd actually make $17 profit over a 10% profit margin, as long as he has an AOSOM coupon code. And let's see. Activated and applied. Doesn't look like it's actually applying anything, but that would be a possible circumstance. So we go ahead and look on Overstock.com, and it's not a good enough price point. So 180 times 0.765 would be 137. But then 137 times 1.22 is $167. He's selling it for $149. We cannot compete on that. So as long as you just keep going through this seller, the seller's inventory, you're going to eventually find more profitable items. And by the way, you want to make sure you update it before you get out of the seller. So if he has 10 items, you want to make sure you average. So hold down your cursor, drag it down, and you'll get an average down here. So these two, we got a average of 6.4%. So there's 2 items and it's 6.4%. So we're going to change this to 6.4% is what his average profit percentage is. That way we know that this guy is definitely a good profitable guy to come back to for Overstock items. I also have a note that it's awesome and Overstock. So this is source, and this is also like an area you could put notes, and you could have the notes be as long as you want, by the way. They could be super, super long, and it would just show up here up top. But you know, try to keep it brief, of course. So that is how you can go find more items from Overstock.com. This was a 15-minute video. It may have taken me 30 minutes to find these 3 items. That would be 6 items an hour. And that's not too many items, but it is very, very profitable because these items are being sold for so cheap on eBay that the competition, uh, it just allows you to sell a higher volume when you're more competitive with your pricing. If we had a price at the regular, so 125 times 1.22, we would have to sell at $152 plus $15 for a 10% profit, $167. They're selling it for $37 less. They're always going to get the sale. We won't. So if we're competing at this price point, we're going to get way more sales, just like these people are. So this is why it's important to get Overstock items as soon as possible. We're going to build up this list because they're just more profitable and it will give us a bigger jump and a bigger push to start with. So if you can't get 10 items per hour, it's fine, because if you can get 6 per hour, that's totally reasonable as well. And the more you search these Overstock sellers, the more quickly you'll be able to find the items here. So just as an example here, we'll go back to his store. You'll start to see what an Overstock item looks like, and by that I mean when you click on these gazebos, you'll know right off the bat most likely they're not going to be available on Overstock.com, but Overstock does sell furniture. They specialize in furniture, actually. They probably would actually sell this portable steel backyard barbecue also. They'd probably sell that too. You'll start to get an idea of what Overstock would sell, but for now I want you to open up all of these links and just check and see if you could find the same item on Overstock. Look at that, 154 items sold. So many items sold by this seller here. Overstock, there we go, 146. Just kind of looked like an Overstock item, but he's selling it for way, way, way less. See price and cart. Oh, it might be dramatically. The sale ends in 1 day though, so that might not be a viable item to go with. 133, that's not good enough. So we would have to sell it at $124, and it's 105. So we wouldn't be able to do that one, but just keep scrolling through this, and then eventually you're going to find a decent list of his items. And after you finish this guy, you could just simply move on to the next one. And if you go through 5 items, maybe 10 items, and you see that there's no Overstock location for those items, just move to the next seller. Maybe you can delete this and say, Walmart instead if you want to, but just make sure you put the date, the actual price point of profit if you add items, and move on to the next one. If you can't find after 3 to 5 items, just move on to the next link. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Skype. But for now, good luck, and hopefully we can get a lot of Overstock items sent through. Have a great night.